she texted. At my ex's house his dad died. Don't be jealous. I replied, my condolences. Then I looked up the obituaries and found nothing. When I sent flowers to the deceased father who answered his own door, the ex called me in a panic. I, 28 male, got that text from my girlfriend Brianna, 26, last Thursday at 9 p.m. We'd been together for 2 years, living together for 6 months. The full text said, "Hey babe, I'm at Garrett's house. His dad just died suddenly this afternoon. The whole family is devastated. I know this is weird, but he called me crying and I couldn't say no. Don't be jealous. I'll be home late." Garrett is her ex from college. They dated for 3 years, broke up 4 years ago. He still comments on all her Instagram posts with fire emojis. I replied, my condolences to his family. Take your time. She sent back heart emojis and, this is why I love you. So understanding. Something felt off though. Not the going to comfort an ex part, death is death, I get it. But the don't be jealous line. Why even add that, unless... So I did what any reasonable person would do. I checked the local obituaries online. Nothing for anyone with Garrett's last name Hutchinson. Checked the funeral home websites. Nothing. Checked his dad's Facebook. We're not friends, but his profile is public. He posted about his golf game that morning. Interesting. I didn't confront Brianna. Instead, I decided to be a thoughtful boyfriend. I called a florist the next morning and ordered a nice arrangement. For the Hutchinson family, deepest sympathies on your loss. Had it delivered to Garrett's parents' house that afternoon. 2 hours later, my phone exploded. Garrett called me 15 times in 3 minutes. I let it go to voicemail. His message, "Dude, what the hell? Why did you send flowers to my parents?" My dad just called me freaking out, thinking someone's trying to tell him he's gonna die or something. This isn't funny. I texted back. Brianna told me your father passed away suddenly. I was trying to be respectful. Is he okay? Radio silence for 10 minutes. Then, I need to call you. I'm at work. Text is fine. This is a misunderstanding. What kind of misunderstanding leads to someone saying your dad is dead? No response. Brianna called me 20 minutes later. I answered. Hey babe, she said, voice shaky. So there's been a weird mix-up. Oh, I must have been confused. It was Garrett's uncle, his great-uncle, lives in another state. I mixed up the family members. His great-uncle died and you went to comfort him at his house here? Yes, he was really close to his great-uncle. What was his name? Whose name? The great-uncle who died. Long pause. Robert. Okay, I'll send flowers to that funeral too. What funeral home? No, I mean, that's not necessary. It's respectful. What funeral home, Brie? She hung up. I went home early. She was already there, pacing the living room. Ethan, we need to talk. Yeah, we do. I wasn't at Garrett's house. No kidding. I was at my friend Chloe's bachelorette party. I laughed, actually laughed. Chloe got married 2 years ago. I was at the wedding. Her face went red. Different Chloe. What's her last name? You don't know her. Try me. She burst into tears. Why are you interrogating me? God, you're so controlling. I'm controlling? You told me someone died. That's psychotic. I knew you'd overreact if I told you I was seeing Garrett. There it was. So you were at his house. It's not what you think. What is it then? We were just catching up, as friends, but I knew you'd be weird about it, so I made something up. You made up a death? I panicked. I stood up. I need you to leave. What, Ethan, come on. It was a white lie. You told me someone's parent died. You made me feel sympathy for someone's fake grief. That's not a white lie. That's deranged. You're ending our relationship over this? Yes. She grabbed her stuff and left, still crying about how I was overreacting. That night, she texted me 82 times. Everything from, I'm sorry, to, you're pathetic, to, Garrett treats me better anyway, to, please take me back. I didn't respond to any of them. Update 1, the entitlement has reached astronomical levels, so Brianna moved back to her mom's house. Her mom, Diane, has been calling me non-stop. This woman has left me 12 voicemails about how I'm throwing away something beautiful over a miscommunication. But here's where it gets good. Garrett's girlfriend reached out to me on Instagram. Yeah, his girlfriend. Turns out he's been dating someone named Haley for 8 months. She saw my name in his phone when he was freaking out about the flowers. Haley and I had coffee yesterday. The tea she spilled was scorching. According to Garrett's texts, which Haley screenshot, Brianna has been coming over for closure conversations for months. These conversations happened when Haley was at work. Brianna told Garrett she was basically single because I was emotionally unavailable. The night of the fake death, they hooked up. Haley dumped him immediately. But before she did, she forwarded me everything, including a photo Garrett had taken of Brianna in his bed that night. She was wearing the bracelet I gave her for our anniversary. I forwarded everything to Brianna with one message: "Your mom can stop calling me now." Her response was incredible. "You had no right to share my private information with strangers. That's revenge porn. I'm calling the police." I replied, "You were fully clothed. Also, Haley isn't a stranger. She's the other woman you were betraying." Then came the real entitlement. Brianna showed up at my work during lunch. Security had to escort her out when she started screaming about how I was ruining her life and turning everyone against her. My coworker Jordan recorded the whole thing. Brianna actually said, and I quote, "I only lied because you're boring. Garrett makes me feel alive. But I chose you for stability." The entire office heard that. My boss gave me the rest of the day off and told me to file a restraining order. But wait, there's more. That evening, Diane showed up at my apartment with Brianna and Brianna's dad, Keith. They wanted to have an intervention. Keith: "Son, relationships require forgiveness. We're not in a relationship. She made one mistake. She's been cheating for months." It wasn't cheating. We were just talking. Haley has photos that suggest otherwise. Keith: "What happens between a man and woman is private. Then keep it private. Don't bring it to my apartment." Diane then tried a new angle. "Brianna's been struggling with depression. This isn't really her." Brianna nodded eagerly. "Yes, I'm sick. I need help, not abandonment." "Then get help elsewhere." Keith got aggressive. "You're gonna throw away 2 years over some texts? Be a man." "A man doesn't stay with a woman who lies about deaths and cheats. Please leave." They refused. I called the police. Brianna told the cops I was holding her belongings hostage. I showed them our text history where she admitted she took everything when she left. The cops told them to leave or face trespassing charges. As they left, Diane shouted, "You'll regret this when you're alone forever." Brianna added, "Nobody else will put up with your boring ass anyway." Cool. Still not taking her back. Update 2. Everything has escalated to levels I didn't think possible. Remember how I mentioned Brianna told people I was emotionally unavailable? Well, turns out she's been laying groundwork for months. Her best friend Zoe messaged me. "Just so you know, Bree's been telling everyone you're basically roommates. She said you haven't touched her in 6 months and she thinks you're gay." That's funny because we literally had sex the morning before the fake death text. But okay, here's what Brianna did next. She created a whole narrative on social media about being trapped in a loveless relationship and how she finally found the courage to leave her emotionally abusive partner. She didn't name me, but we have tons of mutual friends. Everyone knew. The posts included, "Sometimes the person who seems perfect is the one slowly killing your soul. I gave 2 years to someone who couldn't give me 2 minutes of affection. Garrett has shown me what real love looks like." A photo of her and Garrett with the caption, "When you finally find your person after years of settling." The comments were full of her friends praising her bravery. One even started planning a freedom party for her. I didn't respond publicly. Instead, I did something better. I compiled a timeline. Screenshots of her saying she loved me the day before the fake death. 2. Her texts admitting she lied about the death. 3. Her admitting she was at Garrett's. 4. Garrett's texts to Haley about their affair. 5. The photo of her in his bed. 6. Her showing up at my work screaming that she chose me for stability. 7. The police report from her family's trespassing incident. I sent this privately to 5 people, the mutual friends who'd been commenting supportively on her posts. Within hours, the narrative shifted. People started calling her out. Her freedom party was canceled. But Brianna doubled down. She posted that I was weaponizing her trauma and turning people against a victim. Then Garrett dumped her. Yeah. After all this, after leaving Haley, after the drama, he dumped her via text. "This is too much drama. You said you were single. I don't want to be involved in this mess." Brianna lost it. She called me at 2 a.m. sobbing. "Are you happy now? You ruined everything." I didn't do anything. You lied, you cheated, and you faced consequences. Garrett was my soulmate. Your soulmate who dumped you after a week? He only left because you made this public. I didn't make anything public. I privately told the truth to 5 people. You're evil. You're actually evil. Okay. I'm going to destroy you. Good luck with that. She hung up. The next day, she tried to make good on that threat. She called my employer claiming I was harassing her. HR called me in. I showed them everything, including the security footage of her causing a scene. They banned her from the property and offered me their legal team if needed. She told my landlord I was dealing drugs. He laughed, because I'm the most boring tenant ever. I barely have people over, and I'm in bed by 10 p.m. She even called my mom, telling her I was mentally unstable and needed intervention. My mom's response was legendary. Honey, the only unstable person here is someone who lies about deaths. Please, lose my number. But the peak delusion came yesterday. Brianna sent me a formal letter, like printed and everything, with terms for reconciliation. 1. I publicly apologize for overreacting. 2. I delete all evidence of her mistake. 3. I pay for couples therapy. 4. I apologize to Garrett for the flowers. 5. I let her move back in immediately. 6. We pretend this never happened. At the bottom she wrote, you have 48 hours to accept these terms, or I'll have no choice but to move on permanently. I framed it. It's hanging in my kitchen. My friends think it's hilarious. Update 3. Brianna did not, in fact, move on permanently. Instead, she started dating Garrett's best friend, Tyler. Yeah, you read that right. She's now with the best friend of the guy she cheated with. Tyler reached out to me on Instagram. Hey man, just wanted you to know, there's no hard feelings. Bree told me everything about how you were basically roommates and how you emotionally neglected her. I'm glad she's free now. I sent him the framed terms for reconciliation, photo with the caption, does this look like something someone would send to a roommate? He blocked me immediately. But here's where karma gets beautiful. Remember Haley, Garrett's ex? We've become friends through this mess. She works in HR at a major company downtown. Guess who applied for a job there? Brianna. Haley didn't sabotage anything, she's professional like that, but she did give the hiring manager a heads up about the potential culture fit concerns regarding someone who fabricates deaths and creates hostile work environments. Brianna didn't get the job. She found out through a mutual friend that Haley worked there. Her response was to threaten to sue Haley for defamation and career sabotage. Haley's response, truth is an absolute defense against defamation. Also, I have screenshots. Meanwhile, Tyler was learning what dating Brianna actually meant. She was texting Garrett constantly about closure. She was also texting me about making a mistake. She told Tyler's mom that they were planning to get engaged. They'd been dating for 5 days. She changed her relationship status to engaged to Tyler on Facebook. She started planning their wedding on Pinterest. Tyler lasted exactly 9 days before he called me. Dude, I'm sorry. You were right. She's insane. Apparently, the breaking point was when she called his ex-girlfriend to warn her to stay away from her man. His ex lives in another country. They haven't talked in 3 years. So now Brianna was single again. And this time, she went nuclear. She created a whole blog, called Dating While Healing, where she posted about her journey from emotional abuse to freedom. Every post was clearly about me, but with names changed. Evan was described as a controlling narcissist who isolated her from friends and made her feel worthless. The blog got some traction in certain circles. She was getting sympathy from strangers who didn't know the real story. Until Haley and I decided to create our own website, The Real Story, where we posted all the screenshots, timelines, and evidence. We didn't promote it or anything, just sent the link to anyone who asked about Brianna's blog. Her blog mysteriously went private after that. Final update. The universe has a sense of humor. Last week, I ran into Garrett's dad at the grocery store. Yes, the deceased father. He recognized me immediately. You're the flower guy. We had a laugh about it. Then he said something interesting. That girl your ex was seeing my son about? She's trouble. Been calling our house at all hours, crying about some Tyler fellow. My wife had to block her number. She's not my problem anymore, I said. Smart man. You know she told my wife that you were abusive? My wife asked for specifics, and the girl said you were emotionally abusive because you didn't notice her new haircut once. We both laughed. But here's the real finale. Brianna sent me one last email last night. The subject line, "You won." The email, "I hope you're happy. You've turned everyone against me. Garrett won't talk to me. Tyler blocked me. Even my own friends think I'm crazy now. My mom says I need therapy. My dad won't pay for my apartment anymore because he says I need to learn accountability. You destroyed my life over one lie. One lie. I was just trying to spare your feelings about seeing Garrett. I could have just cheated without telling you anything, but I tried to be considerate by making up a reason. Now I have to move back to my hometown. I have to live with my parents at 26. I have to get a job at my uncle's insurance company because nowhere else will hire me. You ruined everything. I hope karma gets you." I replied, "Karma already got someone in this situation. Also, it wasn't one lie. It was months of lies, cheating, manipulation, and harassment. Good luck at the insurance company." She responded immediately, "I hate you." I didn't reply. As for me, I'm doing great. Started dating someone new, Amy from my climbing gym. She thinks the whole story is wild and regularly jokes about faking deaths to get out of boring dinners. My goldfish died, can't make it. Haley's dating someone too. We all went on a double date last week. It was surprisingly not weird. The flowers I sent to Garrett's dad, his mom dried them and keeps them in a vase because they're too nice to throw away, and it's such a funny story now. Garrett messaged me once, "Sorry for all the drama, man. I didn't know she was that crazy. I left him on red." Diane still occasionally texts me about how I broke her daughter. I've never responded. Keith sent me a LinkedIn request last week with a message, "No hard feelings, son. Business is business." I have no idea what that means. I declined the request. And Brianna? According to social media, she's back in her hometown, working at her uncle's State Farm office, posting inspirational quotes about rising from the ashes and phoenixes don't look back. Her last post was, "Sometimes the universe removes people from your life to protect you." Thankful for the lessons. The comments were turned off. To everyone who thinks I was too harsh, she lied about someone dying. She cheated for months. She tried to destroy my reputation, my job, and my relationships. She brought her family to my home to harass me. She created an entire blog to paint me as an abuser. All I did was tell the truth and let her face the consequences of her own actions. Sometimes the best revenge isn't actually revenge. It's just stepping back and letting someone experience the natural results of their choices. Thanks for following along, Reddit. I'm gonna go live my boring, death lie-free life now. Edit, since people keep asking, yes, the uncle who owns the insurance company is Diane's brother. He apparently told Brianna she has to work there for at least a year to learn the value of hard work and honesty. He also makes her cold call leads as character building. Edit 2. To everyone saying Amy is a rebound, we're taking things slow and she knows the whole story. She actually insisted we wait a few months before making anything official because anyone who lies about death has definitely left some psychological damage. She's in therapy, I'm in therapy, we're all in therapy. It's great. Edit 3. Garrett's mom messaged me on Facebook to say Brianna drove by their house last week, slowly. They're considering a restraining order. The flowers I sent are still in their living room though. So at least something good came from this mess.